and we have been hearing it for last 4 months. But before we start this discussion on this topic, let me just have a brief introduction about our panel. I am Vinod, the Chartered Accountant and an Information Systems Auditor. I have been working on information technologies which impact accounting and auditing profession. I am also on an expert panel of UN's effect and part of the working group which is writing a white paper on blockchain. We have our next forum meeting in London starting from 28th of this month till 1st of November, where we are trying to release the first draft white paper. And I am contributing one chapter in that, use of blockchain with IoT. With me, I have panelist Sonny Mohanty, and Pawel Dudek. I will request each of them to give their brief introductions, starting with Sonny.
Yeah, thank you, Vinod. Thanks a lot. This is my second time coming to Dubai. I'm really excited every time I come here. So I represent Latoken, which is top 20 cryptocurrency exchange in the world as per CMC. So I'm their business development and sales manager based out of Singapore. So my job is to attend this event, these high-profile events, with great people like yourself, make friends, network, and have fun as well at the same time. So as I said, it's my second time coming to Dubai, and I'm a lovely crowd, lovely organizers, and I always look forward to such events. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Pawel Dudek. I'm originally from Poland, responsible for EMEA region, so Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I've been here in the past, and I'm happy to come back, and I'm happy to be here with you all and discuss one of the hottest topics of last couple of months.
Hi, my name is Andre Manzoni. I am founder of PCI ecosystem. First time in Dubai. Very happy to participate to this panel today, and hopefully we're going to give you some more insight about Libra. Thank you.
Okay, friends, let's start with the first question to Sonny. William Shakespeare once said, "What is in a name?" That if rose was not given the name rose, will that smell as sweet as it smells now? So coming back to Libra, what is there in the name? Why Facebook selected Libra?
Okay, thanks, Vinod. Obviously, you just thrown me out of the seat. I wasn't prepared for this question, to be honest. I mean, this is a very great question. I wouldn't know why, to be honest. I don't have the answer to that question, to be very honest. But I know that it's a zodiac sign to be a zodiac sign, a known zodiac sign, Libra. Besides that, why would Facebook, Mark, and the founders of the Facebook, obviously Facebook and Libra, the only common thing I can, I don't see any common thing in terms of spelling as well. I wouldn't really know why would they decide to go for that, but probably I'll just ask my co-panelists to answer that on my behalf. Thank you.
I think in one interview, CEO of Facebook Libra said that they chose the name because of the Libra sign, and it's going to be balanced between pounds, dollars, everything. So to find proper balance, that was the idea.
Yes, I think it's correct. Libra is a unit of measure, and it can be used to balance the currency, in currency, and create a portfolio currency to represent the unit of balance.
I think you are very close. I'll just add a few things over here. First of all, Libra is the 7th zodiac sign. Balance is correct, yes. But there is a story behind the name. See, Facebook acquired the brand name Libra. There was a company called Libra. So, I wanted to ask specifically, why Facebook paid millions of dollars just to acquire Libra brand name? Because LibraTech's research director Gerard Vedder, he was a co-speaker with me in Washington DC, transformative technology workshop. I know the background. I leave my comments over here to your judgment. Is it only the acquisition of a brand name, or there is something more for which Facebook paid billions of dollars?
it's a great point. I mean, well, since the launch of Libra, I would say, has gone through a lot of turmoil. I mean, obviously the name itself, I would say, at the moment, currently, is not the main topic, hot topic. It's just the way it has been structured, gone through a lot of roller coaster rides. The Libra Association itself, is the main topic for discussion, I guess. But yeah, it's good to know why would that Facebook decide to name, their currency as Libra. But thank you so much, thanks for that.
One more thing, it's one of the largest industry company from Greece is also called Libra. And my business partner, Stephen Kynes, was working with them for several years ago. And I don't know if they're going to acquire also there, but also there are kind of other companies called, Excalibur like mine, and we were just quite far behind the decision of Facebook. So there's a lot of things like that. So hope they were going to be buying the names as well.
Second question is to you: how Libra coin is different from Bitcoin? Both for our audience.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, it's centralized. Bitcoin is decentralized, and Libra is centralized, and it's connected to dollar, probably 1-to-1. And it's in fact, it's not a coin. In fact, it's just using the blockchain name as a buzzword to make some kind of a transaction method of payment of on the Facebook using this huge scale rather than coins.
I would like to add, so basically Bitcoin, as we know, it's been existing for a long time and it's decentralized. It's not issued by the central government or the federal government. It belongs to the community, right? However, when Libra was launched, so it was supposedly backed up by few parties. So the payment players, the tech players, the telco, the VCs, the online marketplace, the blockchain companies, and some of the non-profit. That was the initial idea. So it's a centralized entity as opposed to Bitcoin. So the payment players were like PayU, the big names you can think of, eBay, MasterCard, PayPal, Stripe. These are all mainstream traditional payment players. Yeah, so initially when it was launched, it was like pegged to a basket of currencies and basket of players. So it's a centralized model as opposed to Bitcoin, which is decentralized. And tech, where some of the players, known players like Spotify and Uber, telecom, I would say Vodafone, VCs, big names as well, blockchain, Coinbase, and Anchorage. So things have changed since it was announced. It was pegged to a basket of currencies. Things have changed. Probably we would discuss this in the coming sessions coming up. So yeah, I'll just pass it on to. You would like to add some?
No, but I think the main problem we are facing today that a technology company is doing something that regulator and central bank should already start doing. So the main issue is not why Facebook is doing something that a bank or central bank should have done it already 5 years ago. The question is probably I see this one just a very good signal for the market and especially in the banking industry to give the signal to wake up and that is time for regulator and central bank to start thinking there is an opportunity there to enter in this market and digitalize our fiat currency and relate to our fiat currency as well. I come from a banking environment. I'm a chartered banker, so this topic has been discussed quite a lot in UK in Chartered Banking Institute, and there is a lot going on as well in Bank of England now. There are a few initiatives around digitalization of the pound, and of course they're still in a pilot discussion. There is a lot of plus and minus discussion, but I think in terms of Facebook, first of all, is a private company, so you also need to consider that no private company will set up something not for lucrative scope. So the main issues we have today, the regulation and economy and monetary economy in our, let's say, academic model are based on central bank using currency and manipulation of quantity of money on the market to regulate the economy. So there is a gap between how the real world is working today, giving the power from a non-government entity to a private entity that is setting up a model to make money. Question for me for Facebook is there was no really need for Facebook to create, so technically they did two mistakes. Created a stable coin based and backed by fiat currency, because then you technically become a central bank, privately owned by non-governmental and regulated entity. And the second thing is why Facebook didn't use Bitcoin. The answer to the second question is, the answer is obvious. Facebook is a private company. To generate revenue, they need to create a stable coin with completely own and monopolized wallet, that's Libra wallet, without allowing other people to enter the market, the competitive market. So we can see that the major issues I see with Facebook is not about the idea. The idea should come from a central institution, a bank, a central bank, and a monetary fund. The issue is actually breaking the monetary economy rules that we have today, and they are doing what they're doing only for lucrative meaning. And my suggestion should be probably they should push to Facebook to use Bitcoin that is decentralized and not owned by a private company. But they will never do it because they don't get any money out of it.
Okay, now coming to the main question, see how Facebook will facilitate access of financial products to masses or provide financial inclusion. And I would request our panelists to first briefly touch upon financial inclusion so that audience can understand what is the meaning of financial inclusion.
So for me, I think financial inclusion term is quite overly used these days. Means that allowing the people or the countries in the underbanked or unbanked regions to have access to finance very smoothly. Like today in Singapore, we have something called Pay Now, which is like peer-to-peer money transfer without any sort of charges. So it's called it's a wallet. It's a wallet where I can transfer money using your phone number. Okay, I just can use your mobile number and transfer money. I don't incur any charges. Okay, so that's basically within Singapore. Singapore is a very developed country in terms of fintech. But if you see outside of Singapore, like countries like India, Bangladesh, or emerging markets, there's so many people still do not have access to banks, the services. So I think it's very important to have financial inclusions by having good fintechs. The technology companies should come up with something that can help these women who are entrepreneurs in villages who don't have access to banking systems. So I think for me, that's the real financial inclusion.
Would you like to add something?
Sure. I think the question should be stated if we're talking about future, if they're going to be really Libra, Calibra still on. I mean, in terms of regulation, in terms of US Congress, in terms of European Union blockade and comments on legal side. I don't think we should discuss. We don't know profits, so we don't know what happened. But if we can see some kind of a real blockers on the road. But from other perspective, to answer your question in terms of banking, I think this is one of another buzzwords because in majority of countries except of Singapore, you need to have a bank account to start trading. So this is not a banking unbounded. It's just another buzzword, I think.
Well, I'm going to talk about unbanked business in my presentation later today. In terms of reachability and reach of Facebook, there is no doubt that there will be a great opportunity for, let's say, a distribution side and reach unbanked people in places today difficult to reach. My question is the profit-oriented setup they made with Libra and the risk that we have in a concentration of power that we already see in other episodes of all this kind of digital platform. to control the market information. So I think in terms of Libra, the way it's set up is definitely no go. At least what I think. And I think if we want to preserve a competitive market, it shouldn't go in that way. And second thing is government, regulator, and our monetary economic framework, they are lagging behind. So it's a bit too early to give power to a private corporate-owned company to get stuck into this market at this stage. Academic and government need to catch up with the new rules, and we probably need to start to rewrite some of the monetary economics framework that are not fit for purpose totally with this event of blockchain technology.
Thank you. Now, are there any risks involved in allowing Libra to become a global currency?
Definitely.
You would like
yeah. So I think tactically, Facebook made a major mistake around backing up Libra by real currency. They probably didn't realize that backing up with real currency, when you create a portfolio for which the subcomponents are a major currency around the world, first of all, because you're already choosing a quantitative entity in percentage of your underneath currency in your Libra, and the decision-making power is not actually given to the government to decide what are the percentage of volume of those currency in your portfolio. You're actually becoming technically a central bank, and that's the major issue. You can't have a private entity in a company to become a central bank. Facebook probably wouldn't face the same issue if they actually would use, first of all, with Bitcoin. They will never, nobody will ever even bother about Facebook using Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has already been opened up by Amazon, and you can now have other platforms in China. Some of the platforms are aware that they use Bitcoin for payment, so it's not a problem. I think they should have been better off probably to create just a normal coin, not backing up by fiat at all, because that's created a lot of issues in a regulated perspective.
So I would like to add, because so basically we have to understand what Facebook is trying to achieve through this Libra coin. We already have central banks. We already have the central governing authority issuing, fiat currencies. Why would Libra be following the same principles? So exactly, I mean, it's not very clear what is their goal, what is their objective. So hence, I would see a lot of risks. We already have the central government issuing the currencies, right? If Libra decided to start off pegging or pegging its currency to lot of payment players and fiat currencies, then obviously that model doesn't work, because you already have. If they're trying to be another central, government or central bank, then obviously it's a failure. I mean, I wouldn't bet my money on them for that reason. However, if they can be very creative and do something for the community, for the people like us, or for the people in the regions like Africa, Southern America, where people do not have access to finance. For instance, I know a lot of people back in India where they would like to have access to some funds to start a business, but they don't have credit history. Can you help those people? Can Libra actually help us? Because the banks cannot help them. The banks cannot loan them money because they don't have a credit history. Can Libra actually, solve this problem? If the answer is yes, if they can come up with something like that to actually help the people, then yes, for sure I'll consider my betting on them. But as of now, I just see risk with Libra. Thank you.
For sure, two questions. I mean, one will be the mass adoption, and for sure that will be a huge achievement if they're going to launch it and do it. For sure, chapeau bas for that. It will open the doors for other people to follow. But for second, perspective, I don't think that recruited stupid people to make some stupid decision. Mr. Marcus is a former PayPal manager, so he knows how to do it. One of the chief in Libra is my former professor from MIT, Christian Catalini, who formed blockchain lab on the MIT, and he switched to Libra earlier this year. So I don't think recruited that kind of guys to make some just stupid mistakes on the world. So there must be something method in the craziness, I think.
So the question is, we are not discussing about the technical capability and ability of people to deliver an amazing project. There's no doubt that Libra is going to be successful from a technical perspective, implementation perspective. The question we are discussing about is the genuinity of the initiative. They are money-making, profit-making entity. The real drive for them is making money. It's not because they care about unbanked people. If you care about unbanked people, I can tell you Facebook could have done many other stuff to reach people that don't have a current account today with a simple wallet free into their platform using Bitcoin. And you would have been done the same thing. So, or creating a simple pair to back in one single currency and allow people to do transaction on a wallet on their Facebook. The issue I have extremely with this initiative is only money-making exercise, is only driven by Facebook making money, is creating stability in the market, giving power to private entity, and first and most importantly, the wallet that they are creating, Calibra, is going to be the only wallet allowed to be used on the platform. So every single part of the puzzle goes all towards a model that is only to create a monopoly into the power of a private entity.
Thank you for your feedback. I would like to add something more here. See, currencies have been the prerogative of central bank, and central governments regulate these currencies. So unless proper regulations are there to monitor the currency, its usage, who is using it, providing proper regulations, framework for say anti-money laundering, use of money by say drug traffickers or criminals. These are some of the great areas. Unless these things are sorted out, not only Libra coin, any cryptocurrency will not get mass acceptance. So one of the suggestions which is coming from regulator side, central bank side, is for promoting central bank digital currency or CBDC. But now let us see how this goes forward, because the US has been dead against Libra coin, Europe has been dead against, even in India, our Ministry of Finance is not against any cryptocurrency. So this time only will tell. It has future, yes, but yes, regulations are very much.
Also the question about the partners, hundreds of companies like MasterCard, Visa, they are already leaving the shipping.
Some of the partners have recently left off. That was my next question. Who do you see as the next partner to leave? Anybody?
Just conscious of the time, we don't have much time. But the thing is, yeah, with all these main big players, big names pulling out from the Libra Association is a red flag for me in itself, because as you mentioned, they are not something that were born yesterday, like just Libra coin was born yesterday, right? So they are the major players who are backing them up, and suddenly they deciding to leave Libra. I don't know who else is going to leave in the coming months, in a few days. But with these big names leaving Libra, I just don't know what's going to happen with the future of Libra coin itself. With that, I really would like to thank you for listening to us, because already, like I think time is up, and now I'll pass it on to my panelist.
Yeah, it's going to be for sure interesting to see what Congress of the United States will do, and for other regulators, there will be the main question. If they're going to allow somehow or adopt, they can go no further. If not, I probably they're going to kill it.
I see this one as just a positive shaking messages to central bank to start really work seriously around the fully digitalization of our fiat currency, and we will also probably, everybody will be happy to have a digital pound or digital US dollars that we're going to be using our ecosystem without getting crazy of all this digital coin with volatility and everything.
Okay. I'll thank all the panelists for their useful information, feedback.
If you like our videos and want more information about cryptocurrency and new ICO, please subscribe our YouTube channel and press the bell icon. Thank you.